Hey friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another word of encouragement for the day for today, Tuesday, April 20th. And today's word comes out of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 21 and 22. And in it, we continue our exploration on this theme of anger. What is it? Where does it come from? What do we do with it? And Jesus has some pretty strong words for us today. He says this to his disciples. He says, "You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, 'You shall not murder. And anyone who murders will be subject to judgment.'" To which Jesus' first century audience would have been like, yeah, we agree with that. We know that. And then he says this, "But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment." So what Jesus does here is he describes the relationship between what we see on the outside, the outward expression of anger, which is murder or angry words or aggressive driving. He points out the outward expression of that, and he says, don't do that. And we go, yeah, duh, we know that. But then he traces it back to the root underneath the surface. And he says the root of that kind of behavior, that murderous behavior, is anger. And so friends, when I was a kid, my mom used to make me pull the weeds in the backyard. Maybe you had a similar chore. And on Saturdays, I couldn't go play with my friends until I pulled the weeds in the backyard. And she taught me how to pull the weeds out by the root, to dig, to loosen up the dirt, and then to pull the whole root system out. But that was way more time consuming. And so you can imagine what I did. I would just go in there and just rip off the weeds, off the surface. And sometimes the roots came out and sometimes the roots were in there, but you couldn't tell from the surface. Then I would ask my mom, okay, I'm done. Can I go play? And she would let me go play. Well, the problem is those roots would grow back. In fact, by the next Saturday, most of them would have grown back. See, friends, that's what Jesus is showing us. He's saying, yes, don't murder, okay? Yes, get rid of the thing above the surface, for sure. But if you don't deal with the roots, the things, the emotions, the feelings that would cause you to want to murder, to want to yell hateful things out the window on the freeway, all of those things are going to eventually continue because you didn't deal with the root. So, friends, here's my question for you today. What's in your heart? How is your heart? Are there people that you're holding on to resentment and bitterness towards? And yeah, you might be managing your behavior on the outside, but you're not actually dealing with the root. Friends, maybe today is the day that you release that person or that group of people from the anger and the bitterness and the resentment that you've been holding on to. And maybe today is the day that you extend forgiveness. And maybe by dealing with that root, you'll begin to find that those weeds of murderous thoughts and angry words aren't popping up quite the same that they did before. I think that's what Jesus was getting at here. So friends, may you do that today. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.